Hello everyone, it's May 17th, 2021. So as I said before, if I get a lot of requests from followers, from Reddit, from the elite group, or even YouTube, although on YouTube I've only had a request about crypto, but I don't really know much about crypto, so I don't want to give an opinion on something that I don't know. So I'm actually going to do a couple of different videos, actually 3 different videos. This first one is about allocation of assets, because quite a lot of people have certain amount of funds and they want to find out what to do, like how to buy increments of certain blocks. So I've actually been having this request for quite a few weeks, and I was actually going to try to do this yesterday, but I got so busy yesterday, so I'm doing it right now. So remember, this is not financial advice or telling you guys what to do. This is what I would do. Okay, and do recall I started out with $2,000, and at that time it's $50 per trade and via the phone. Because in 1994, I started in October, November of 1994. I didn't even have internet. Believe it or not, I even have internet. I was using the Wall Street Journal. I'm jotting down prices daily. So that's pretty much how I started. So I think my first 10 trades were free because I was referred to JB Oxford. So that's how I got over to JB Oxford before I came over to E-Trade. Like in 1996 or 1997, I opened up my E-Trade account. Okay, so this allocation. So if you have about, and I'm going to go up to 100,000, maybe a little bit over 100,000, because it changes as you have more money and you're not going to take the same risk. Okay, so let's start off with $1,000. And to be honest, unfortunately with $1,000, you pretty much have to go all in. When I say that, because if you try to buy 2 blocks of 500, like 2 different stocks, you try to buy the same stock at 2 different prices with $500, you're limited at what you can buy. Like on the stock price, you're limited to certain securities, and I'm going to do another video about that later on. So unfortunately, with $1,000, you're going to have to go all in. So if it were me, I'm in the position, I'm going to go all in. All right, if I have $2,000, and since I'm only playing with $2,000, I'm not going to buy the same stock in 2 increments. I'm not going to, because with $2,000, you're limited capital, and you can't buy so many different things, and you definitely don't want to get stuck in the same stock, whether or not it goes up or down. I have another video about fear of missing out. No fear of missing out. This is Ultimate Trader. All right, I have a ton of plays. So if I have $2,000, I'll buy 2 different plays. 2 different plays, it'll help you hedge in case one of them go down. Okay, so once we go up to $4,000, I was still limited to 2 plays. All right, 2 different plays, and use 2,000 on each play. Once you get to 5,000, now you can kind of do a couple of different things. So if I had 5,000 myself, and I was a very, very, very strong believer in a stock, let's just go with NLS, because I keep talking about NLS and it's undervalued. So I am a strong believer in NLS. The earnings report was not even amazing. It was absolutely spectacular. It's May 17th right now. We had earnings season for about 2 or 3 weeks. I've read at least, I would say, about 2,000 earnings report. And the only one that's better than Nautilus is Goldman Sachs. So out of all the 2,000 companies, NLS is the second best earnings report that I've read. So let's go with NLS. So with $5,000, I will probably buy NLS at 2 different increments. So I would probably buy NLS at 2 different increments, meaning I might buy it at 17. I will wait for it to drop 3 to 5%, 16.25, and buy it again. That's with about 5,000. However, if you're not a strong believer in a stock, also buy 2 plays, then buy 2 plays. But around $5,000 is when you could buy in increments. As you get up to $10,000, you can buy in increments and split it in maybe 2 or 3 plays. So if you have $10,000, I don't know necessarily if I'd buy 5 or 6 different stocks. That's going to maybe $20,000. But if I had $10,000, I would probably buy maybe 2 or 3 stocks. So you divide it, proportionally, or buy in increments. If I had $10,000, I'd buy 2 stocks, and one would be in increments, if anything. One will be increments. As you get closer to $20,000, that's when you might want to buy 4 different plays. Because what happens is, unfortunately, we can't control the market, So the best thing you could do is diversify and buy 4 different plays. All right, so you could buy 4 different plays, or maybe 3 plays where one you're buying in increments. I don't advise you just going all in with 20,000 on just one stock, because let's just say you bought Nautilus and you spent the $20,000 and you bought at $17.50, because I think at the open there's around $17.50. Well, it dipped down to 17. You were just under, and you couldn't buy again. You couldn't load again. So when you have $20,000, definitely don't just go all in and buy one stock at one price. Because, sometimes people do that. Well, not sometimes. A lot of people do that a lot of times. But when they do that, they're not hedging themselves. Because what happens if the stock goes down, you're stuck. If it goes up, yeah, you gain more, but I'm not a guy with just one play. Okay, over the weekend I sent a full list of all my plays. I had 99 plays, and for me, when something is in place, that means it's near a price level that I'm confident to buy. So there's no reason to go all in on one stock at one price with 20,000. As you get closer to 50,000, because I'm not going to go through every level, when you get close to 50,000, you might want to buy 5 different plays at $10,000, or if you are that confident, buy 4 plays with one of the plays buying in increments. I definitely don't recommend you buying the dips with $50,000 with one symbol. Okay, my rule, this is just my rule, because remember, this is my rule, is not to buy more than 1 dip per day. So that means 2 entries, like I did today on Clove, May 17th. I bought Clove at 7.10. And again at 6.75, because I want to make sure it dropped enough so that I would be up on one of the positions to exit. So my rule is, on the same day, it could be a bad day for the ticker, I will only buy 2 increments. Now, if you have more money, you can buy more increments another day. But on one day, don't recommend it, because it could just be a bad day for the stock. Because look, in the morning, Clove almost at $8. They beat on top line and sales, and they missed bottom line, which means they lost more. They're at a growing stage, so that's going to happen. In the long run, Clove is probably fine, but in the near term, I don't know if Clove should be above $9. So around $9. But for me trading, I like to trade at a price that's fair to me, that the worst case scenario, I can still move it. So for me to be comfortable, with Clove, I like to be around 7 to 750. Above 750, you know what? I have other plays. I get along with something else. So we just talked about 50,000. So $50,000, you might want to get 5 plays. 5 plays or 4 plays, and you buy increments on one of the tickers. And then I'm going to end with $100,000. So at $100,000, I would probably buy either 5 or 6 plays. And depending on the market, if the market is green and it looks really good, maybe I buy 4 tickers at 25,000 to maximize your gains. But remember, every single day is different and every market is different. There are similarities. You can try to repeat the same trades. There's similarities, but not every day is going to be the same. I know it's something, what happens to me where I bought something on Monday, on Friday, and I try to repeat the trade, but that doesn't always work out all the time. So if the market is green and if I have $100,000, if it really looks good, I might buy 4 or 5 positions, buy 20,000 a block. And that's only if the market is green. If the market is not green, it's red or it's even day, I might even go as far as buying 8 or 9 tickers with that money, because you want to diversify. And loading up the truck is where you have maybe 30% of your portfolio in one stock. So my rule, and this is just my rule, is that I rarely have over 25% in one stock. So if I have 100,000, but I have more than 100,000, but if I had $100,000, I don't want to have more than 25,000 in one stock, because you want to diversify. The last time that I had, I loaded up the truck was in lumber liquidators. I think I had about 40% of my portfolio in just one stock. That was a couple of months back. They had great earnings report. The stock dipped as low as maybe $22.75 or $23. I started buying it around $24.75 to $24.25 to $24 to $23.50, and I ended up selling all the blocks for a profit. So that's what I do. So every time I buy, I make a buy. Even when I buy in blocks, I sell in increments, and I buy in increments. So if I buy the next block 50 cents lower, more than likely I'm going to sell the block 35 to 50 cents higher. So for instance, let's just use lumber liquidators, because I actually did load up the truck big time. So the lot that I bought at 24, I sold at 24.50. The lot that I bought at 23.50, I sold at 24. The lot I bought at 23, I sold, I think, 23.65, 23.75. And my most expensive lot, which is 24.75, actually sold at 25.50. So what did I do? I was a strong believer in lumber liquidators. The numbers were amazing, and I just kept loading up. I even bought, like I said, close to 40% of my portfolio, either 35 or 40 in just one stock. Different increments though, because you want to ensure that you can make money on every trade. So this video was about how to allocate funds, starting at $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $25, $50, and $100, and I hope it helps you out. If you have a question, you can ask me on Reddit, or you can ask me on YouTube. All right, bye-bye.